listen.
No, it's just the only reason I say it's just interesting because a lot of times, and it's not just you, it's really common, but like it's a lot of times as women, we say we want one thing, but our actions dictate that we don't. Because it's like, even how would that work out if you really want a family?
I would have to move. I would want to move. I've never looked at my life like I'm going to stay here for the rest of my life, to be honest with you. I've always found interest with people that aren't from here.
Well, it just doesn't seem like a super good prospect from the
Maybe
outside
for some,
looking in.
Maybe for some people.
Look, this is what I mean about...
Okay, wait, can I just say this? My best friend is with somebody that is not from this country, and I promise you it's going exactly the way that you thought it was never going to go.
Does she have a ring?
Hey!
We can't disclose that right now.
We can't disclose
That's
that.
how we judge results. She hasn't got a ring.
She's going to get a ring.
It, but we can't.
If she hasn't got it...
The ring is bought.
But if she hasn't got it...
But I just think a lot of times, like, as women, we live in possibilities instead of probabilities.
I'm here.
And so it's like, it's possible.
It's definitely happening.
The reason why they can't say it is because she's
can't
probably...
say it because we're live.
No. I'm talking about... I'm saying like just because you know one person, it doesn't seem probable. It's possible, but it doesn't seem probable.
Okay. What I'm gonna say is you see, this is the bit where we was talking about the decisions that women make, and you're 28. You see that sign that says there, Thane Mitchell, the wall is undefeated. You are at the wall now. Do you know what the wall? Do you know what the wall is?
No, please tell me.
Yo, can you explain to her the wall, please?
There we go.
Yeah, the wall is basically the part where I would say roughly around an age when a woman reaches age 30 and
so
her looks...
28 is about the start of it.
Yeah, it's about the start of it. But I think 30 is a typical benchmark, and that's when her looks start to go downhill. Her ability to attract men, or the same standard of men that she did when she was in her prime, which is usually sort of late teens to mid-20s, starts to shrink. And at that point, her dating pool obviously starts to shrink as well. And really, the goal for a lot of women is to bag the guy that she wants when she's in her prime. So I would say that at the age of 28, you're pretty much at the upper limit towards the end of your best period to be able to get the guy that you want. Because what happens with a lot of women, right, is during their prime, they'll have a certain standard of guy, and that's what they're used to. Once they hit the wall, they still, because, it's very hard for them to go down once they've had a guy that meets a certain type of criteria, right? So they end up in this perpetual cycle once they've hit the wall where they still have these high standards, but they can't get that guy anymore. So, the aim of the game is really to try and bag that guy and commitment, long-term commitment from that guy before they hit the wall. So I think what this guy is basically saying is that you haven't really got much time. And do you really want to be using the latter stages of your prime on basically a long shot?
Yeah, I'll be willing.
I'm just have some stuff that I've written about the wall. Our primary agency is our sexuality and how good we look. SMV is a desirability to the opposite sex. The wall is between the ages of 18 and 28, or our primary agency is between the ages of 18 and 28 when we live to be 90. Men between the ages of 20 and 70 rate 22, 23, and 24-year-olds as the most attractive. It's not an age, but a mindset. It is the subconscious acknowledgement that she cannot compete in the same way she did when she was younger.
Yeah, so the reason I want them to explain it to you, because I want you to understand that if you are 28 and you don't have any children, and I'm trying to make you understand right now, that makes you high over here. You know what I'm saying? We are respecting that you don't have any children. So remember what we said. We treat you as a virgin. So if a woman hasn't got any children, we don't know her body count, she's good to go. For you to waste the next year or 2 years and push you potentially to 29, 30 for a guy that lives in the USA, when you already know geriatric pregnancy starts. And this whole thing about freezing eggs and IVF. I know people that have done IVF have spent over 50 grand in IVF and it still didn't work. I have family members that spent a lot of money and it didn't work. In the end, God had to, you know what I mean? God had to bust them. If you're not a Kardashian, so you won't be able to just freeze your eggs. We don't. So a lot of the options that women think they have, they're not reserved for them. They're reserved for people that have a lot of money that can do these things. And on top of that, these things don't guarantee any results. So I think for you to be speaking to someone potentially that would and stop you from interacting with anyone else, and then in America, I just, unless a man is telling you, and he's literally putting money into your account and saying, I'm setting up a life for you to come, I suggest you start looking for different options.
Okay.
I'm being real with you.
Yeah,
so
I'd
because
co-sign that as
because if I was your brother, there's no way I'm gonna be like, so what, you're holding out for this guy over there? No, my sister, this is what we need to do. And I don't want to see you get to 30, and then you're out in We Are Festival looking for man. Like, do you get me? I don't.
It don't make sense. This.
No, because I think you're a good case. I think you're a good case study. I think you're a woman.
Sorry.
I think you're a woman that you said, for 10 years you've been out the game necessarily. When we're spoken to what you want a complete family unit, probably based on some of the things that you have experienced. You're 28, you don't have any child, and you understand, you had therapy, so you understand some of the things you've gone through. You're a candidate now for a good man. But you need to listen to some of the things that I've said. So when this good man comes, you don't scare him away with saying stuff like, I won't listen to you. You know what I mean?
I never said that.
No, but what I'm trying to say to you is this
I
whole...
feel like if you explained it the way that you did afterwards about like how men would feel when it comes to women going out to the club, like you made it seem a little bit more different.
Babe, I gotta give it to you like that.
I know, but I personally wasn't looking at it the way that you explained it. Like he said it in more in a secure way. Like it made it seem a little bit more like, okay, I can understand your point of view. Before it was just like blunt. Like if I said you can't go, you can't go. Like, oh, well, I don't know who you're talking to.
I didn't say it like that.
No, but it came across that way to me.
Yeah,
Well, if for the modern women out there that want to learn to be wives, we're opening a wife school. We're gonna bring in wives from all over to teach modern women how to cook, clean.
Oh no,
I don't cook. I don't
Ballroom
clean.
dancing and shit.
Well, I cook and I clean.
Can I ask you a question though, yeah? So you got this guy in America, right? Let's say you were to be out wherever and you met a guy that was, ticked all your boxes and he was serious about trying to get to know you. Would you say no to him for the guy that's in America?
I've gone through that and I've come right back to square one.
Explain.
I've
So what
done that.
happened?
So somebody that I saw me as a potential, wanted to move forward. I don't know what happened, but it didn't go the way I wanted it to go to, or the way that he said it was going to go to. So I just left it for what it was. And then I rekindled what I have now going on right now. So
Was he a bad boy?
what, the guy that I used to talk
No,
to?
the guy. Yeah, the one.
The one over here.
No, he was a good boy.
He was actually a good boy.
Yeah.
But I told her already, with this situation that she has over there, I told her, wait
But don't
without
wait.
waiting.
Yeah.
Like, if that's what
Yeah.
you're going to do, then that's what you're going to do. But don't
But
just
don't
wait.
expect.
Yeah.
See, I want better results for men. I'm a man, so I want better results for us, but I want better results for women. So this thing when I said to you about, we're champion for women, like it sounds mad because men haven't spoken like this, but we have to get the backlash and the corn for it. We have to get people chopping us up and making edits and trying to make it change the narrative. We have to get this. We have to get our colleagues that said, oh my God, I see, your views are so misogynistic. We have to get all of this. But the reason we get this because it's that vitally important for us to get this message across. There's so many men that don't have a voice. There's so many men that are scared to speak. And more importantly, women are scared to speak. So since I've come on, this is my third time I've been on here, I did not think it would cause as many ruffles as it has, right? But I understand why. But what we need, I get so many women in my DMs that call me, that message me, that's even in a few in the comments, that support what we're doing. But the problem is there's a minority of women that are speaking for the majority, and this minority is loud, and they are rude, and they are crude, and they are now, their voice is representing the larger, their voice is representing for the majority, right? So when we speak, and then it doesn't sound, in the beginning we maybe bump our heads a little bit, but when we actually come to a place of where you understand that actually, you know what? I didn't think of it like this. My man's got a point. That's the point we need women to jump by us and be like, right, okay, cool. These guys are actually trying to help people get better results, because by you understanding now, automatically, I know you're going to get better results. You're going to look at yourself. You're going to look at your time. You're going to think to yourself.
It's all how you say it too. Because like I said, the beginning from where we was, that's not what you sounded like to where we are right now. I feel like if you sit down and talk to me, I will listen. If I feel like you're demanding me and I don't understand what you're saying to me, I'm going to be a bit like, who are you talking to? You know?
No, but it was a hypothetical situation though, wasn't it? Because it came down to your friendship with your friend there, and you were kind of just like, no, I wouldn't listen. So I guess we were just giving how a man would perceive that.
But
you know what I mean?
I also think you're asking men to communicate like women. And so you're asking, men are very blunt and they're very direct and they're not really trying to think about your feelings and be considerate unless they're more feminine typically.
Well then,
and so when you say like you need to communicate to me this way, you're basically saying be more like a woman.
I don't feel like I'm saying that.
I don't think you mean to.
No, I don't feel like I'm saying that. I feel like I don't think it's a problem for anybody to be very open and explain thoroughly about what they're talking about, because why is it that you say jump, I must jump?
Because men don't have the time to explain every single decision that they make. And so it's like exhausting to them. So if he says, hey, can you do this? And you say, why? And then he has to have a 10-minute conversation with you for you to agree with it. And now you'll do it. It's like, that's exhausting to a guy. They would rather just have a girl that just says, okay.
It's because at that point,
I'm not that girl.
At that point, you're
that's what I mean. It goes back to what we were saying about a woman who, a girlfriend, a wife who won't listen is really a big turn off to a guy.
I feel like,
and on a podcast, like it's cool. I mean, it gives me content. It's cool. I'm not complaining. But like in a day-to-day relationship, like that's exhausting to men. Men don't like to sit around and talk to us.
I feel like I'll be the voice for women that can actually say, if you speak to me where I understand, then I can listen. If you're demanding me from somebody who doesn't have a father figure in her life like that, you have to understand how to treat certain women. Not every woman's going to be the same, and not every man is going to be the same.
What outcomes are you looking for there?
What outcome am I
what are you
looking for?
looking
Understanding.
No, but in terms of relationships, what are you looking for? Like, do you want to be married? Do you want a long-term relationship?
I would like to be married. I'm not going to pinpoint and just say like I'm going to be married tomorrow. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I feel like my main source or what I'm looking for is true happiness and peace.
Irrespective of whether that's a relationship. Because the reason I'm
in
asking...
a relationship, too.
So in a relationship, like you were saying, and I agree, men tend to be the gatekeepers and the decision makers as to whether something goes to a relationship or a marriage. So if you're not behaving, so what you're doing, you're setting a criteria and saying a guy has to explain this to a certain way. But as far as relationships and marriage is concerned, you're not in a position to lay out that criteria. It's the guy that's laying out the criteria and saying, listen, I expect my girlfriend, if she trusts me and she wants to be with me, to listen to what I'm saying. It doesn't mean she doesn't have a voice. But ultimately, if I have something to say, I haven't got time to be drawing her a diagram and giving all these long-winded explanations. If she's not willing to listen to me, she hasn't really selected me as her man.
And another thing, like when you say like, what are you looking for? Like relationships and marriage, it's not about happiness. It's about duty. And so when a guy hears, and I'm just telling you, this is just from guys' point of view. Like when they hear, like, what do you want out of a relationship? And they say happiness, that's a red flag because your happiness can come and go. And it's like, if you're not happy tomorrow, are you going to leave? And the number one thing that men look for is loyalty.
Agreed.
And so if you're not, like to that says to a guy, like, I'll leave if I'm not happy. And that with all the risk that men have to take today in order to get married, it's like, you know, we're asking them to do this, but we give them red flags along the way.
And this is why there's not a lot of marriages going on. There's less marriages in comparison to our parents' generation.
Feminism, has given women an unrealistic expectation of what relationships and marriage really are. You know, I genuinely believe that.
And it's not just, you know, this is like very common. It's not just like, I do these shows 4 times a week. So like a lot of these answers, I think a lot of answers we have are like kind of programmed.
Yeah.
Where we don't really, you know, that's what I mean. Like we don't really think about it because like we're sold this Disney fairy tale from a young age.